This is the Ken and Kitty podcast. Stupid? Oh yeah. Silly? For sure. Professional and informative. Yeah, right. That's right. That's right. It's true. It's true. I have to act like I believe this. Okay, so bear with me.
Hernando Floor Coverings, 1155 Holly Springs Road, for all your flooring needs.
Okay, Liberace, what's shaking?
What? I didn't have to work today, so I went to the beach.
And you wear a boa to go to the beach?
No, there was these women that I met on the beach, and they said they were going to give me a lei, which I thought one thing, but then they gave me this. So
yeah, I hope you weren't hinging your whole day upon that.
I wasn't, but I'm.
I mean, this could take a while. How many women were there? And what were these women wearing? Hawaiian skirts. Did they do the hookie law for you?
No, they didn't.
Okay. Do you know what the hookie law is?
It's that dance that they do when you get off the airplane, right?
No. The hookie law is special little. It's a hookie law. They do that to entice the fish in. It's like a fish dance. The hookie law. We are going to the hookie law. The hookie law. Everybody at the hookie law, where the mau and the pow and the hookie law. Throw out your nets way out to the sea, where all the llama come swimming to me. I don't know. We did it in Girl Scouts. It was really embarrassing, but we did it in a parade. That was interesting.
And it's still in your brain. Wow.
I know. That's because I was very impressionable back then. And I'm a woman. We don't forget anything. We forget the good stuff. We never forget the bad stuff.
You're fully aware of that. Three times over.
Just making sure that you knew that. So how you doing today?
What does that mean? How am I doing today?
Wait a minute. Was that not self-explanatory? How are you doing today?
I'm doing great today. I didn't have to work today. I went to the beach.
Yeah, okay, well, fine.
I'm in a bathing suit. I'm doing great.
Well, that's not a very beachy shirt, although it does look like it's kind of cool.
It's just
looks like it was white.
Just a funny question coming from you while we're doing a podcast. So, Kitty, how are you doing today?
You know what, Ken? I'm glad you asked. I'm doing amazing. Tommy right now is measuring the bedroom because we are finishing up. We did the floor in sections because the bedroom's 18 by 24. It is the largest bedroom I've ever had.
Wow.
Ever. I mean, it's like I could set up a gym in there and still have room. There's actually a place to sit besides the bed. Imagine that.
And you have a studio.
Yes, I have my own studio. But Tommy's got his gun room. So we're going to put a bed in there for people who for visitors in case we ever do get any. Well, nobody ever really wants to come to Kansas. So, but there'll be guns in there. They will be locked up so that we don't have to worry about anybody doing something stupid while we're sleeping. So totally under lock and key. They're in a gun safe.
You're making your house sound like you're in a mansion.
Well,
how many square feet is your house?
Oh, it's not much. There's no basement. It's just one floor. But I mean, Our bedroom's huge. And then there are two other bedrooms, but actually the one bedroom is a studio. But there is a place to sleep if you look behind that curtain. See, don't look behind the curtain. Because the great and powerful Oz is not back there. Okay. But there's a cute it's a folded up futon and it's a nice little napping area.
Wait, you mentioned basements and we're all used to when living in the North, we all had basements. Everything was in the basement.
Right.
And it's finished the basement and it just was nice. There's no basements in Florida. Very little.
You either?
No, because I'm 8 feet above sea level. So if you dig 8 feet down, you're going to hit water. So we can't have a basement.
Well, can't you just go to 7.5? Just make it for smaller people.
Did
you have to go the 8 foot?
Especially here in Cape Coral, with the way they developed this town, we have the most canals of any city in the world. And
like France. It's kind of like France. They have canals all over, waterways.
Yeah, but we have the most in the world. So what they did was it was all swampland. GAC came in and they dredged up and formed land. And then there was water in between. So they would form some land, and there's water. Then they'd form some land over here. And it made a gigantic canal system.
So does that mean that you can like bring boats to your house and park them
Yeah.
outside? Is there a dock?
Yeah, there's freshwater canals, and then there's brackish canals.
What's
The brackish,
brackish?
it means that when they dredged it, there was no way to get to a canal that went out to the river, so they just stopped it, and so it's water and it's a canal, but it goes nowhere.
Oh,
You could have a boat on it,
kind
but
of like our show. It goes nowhere.
I don't know. It's fascinating the way they built this town, but every once in a while we run into all kinds of problems. The canals get all kinds of bacteria and all this weird stuff that comes down from Lake Okeechobee, and it comes into our canal system, and you can't go in the canals now. And
See, that is so bizarre because when my mom lived in Summerfield, that used to be on a lake, or there was waterways throughout there. A lot of people, they bought and paid so much for their houses because they had water there. So there were docks and they had boats, and then it all dried up. Now they can't give those houses away.
oh wow, that sucks.
Yeah. See, that's the bad thing because like water can just disappear. Like all of a sudden you're living in Gobi
Yeah.
or the Sahara, I don't think there was any sand. There was just dirt and a lot of trees and stuff that where the water used to be. I think they just filled it up with stuff. But, what you going to do? Hey, you can't count on anything these days.
We get
Nothing.
hurricanes, and it really causes a lot of damage. Ian just decimated us from Naples all the way to Punta Gorda. It came right in at Cape Coral, and what happens is there's a swell of water, and the water rises in the canals. Like the water rose like 4-6 feet, and that brings it on land and brought it into our house. So we had 2 feet of water in our house. Had to replace the drywall, the carpets, everything from here, this about
Right.
this level of the house had to be replaced.
Well, don't you have any dikes down there?
There was a lock where you enter the Caloosahatchee River, and it was a pain in the ass. Everybody hated it, so they took it out.
Well, see, now look at that. It could have saved houses. You know what? You don't ditch the dikes. Dikes actually come in handy. Everybody says, well, what good is a dike? In this case, you see what a dike would have done.
I'm going to use that as the title on Facebook and YouTube for this episode. Say it again.
You don't ditch the dikes.
Don't ditch the dikes. Okay.
Exactly. Dikes are definitely necessary.
Yeah, well, we had one as our producer in Cincinnati.
She was also a police officer, so there you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't.
But I didn't mean really silly. You're putting words in my mouth. I didn't mean that kind of dike.
Oh,
although
I know.
Of course, there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, I wanted to tell you, Tommy, he caught me in the bathroom. I would spend hours in the bathroom. Okay.
Doing what?
I would go to the bathroom and then I'm playing a game on my phone, on the phone that I no longer use. It's the old phone, which is now my gaming phone. So I would sit in there on the toilet for 2 hours playing a game. And it was just so easy because if I had to go to the bathroom, I just went to the bathroom because I'm already in there. So he comes in the one day and he goes, seriously, you're either doing something really shady or you have a serious problem. So here I found an article that doctors are saying you should not be using your phone while you're sitting on the toilet. All right. 57% of people do it, but you end up spending half the day in there and you're going to end up with really nasty piles and hemorrhoids. Okay. Which, how can you get a hemorrhoid from sitting on the toilet? They say the straining. How is that straining? You just go. It isn't like you're making yourself go. You're just sitting there. And if you have to, you do it.
Well, if somebody's pissing you off, I guess you strain. I don't know.
It isn't like you're sitting there. It's kind of like wearing a pair of Depends, but you don't even have to pull them down or up because you're just on the toilet. But so apparently this is not good for you. You can get hemorrhoids, which I thought the only way you can get hemorrhoids is A, by having birth, or B, by sitting on cold concrete. But they said they can be really big and nasty ones. As if a hemorrhoid this big is not nasty enough. You'll get hemorrhoids this big.
I hate to admit it, but I had hemorrhoids the last few months. And I actually do talk on the phone when I'm on the toilet because I'm just so busy. I have so much to do. And it's like, I don't have time. I don't have time for this, and I talk to my body and I'm like, I don't have time. No, don't. Oh God, I got to go to the
Well,
bathroom.
do you mute the phone when you flush, or like
Oh,
if
yeah.
you're,
Oh, yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
plopping
Yeah.
and, you can hear the water.
Right.
Okay.
I
So
know. We
yeah,
all
you
get
gotta
really good
mute
at
it.
hitting that mute button. And you flush and you wait and then you come back and they're like, hello, hello. Oh, sorry. I accidentally hit the mute button.
Or you know what I would do? I would like make my way towards the door, put my foot up, flush the toilet with my foot, and then quick run out. Because I didn't want to mess around with the mute button. It was like, no, this is just so much easier. I'll just use my foot to flush the toilet and quick rush out of the bathroom.
Can you video that? We'll put that up on a YouTube Shorts.
No, nobody needs to see that. No. No, but I mean, it's an alternate version of muting. It's the kitty version of mute.
I
Okay.
see. Wow. Well, we
But
have.
then, when I'm in a public toilet, I don't use my hands anyway. I use my elbows or I use my foot because no, I'm not touching something that God only knows where somebody's hand that was on it before mine was.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can grab it like in the bathroom. You can grab paper towels, you dry your hands, but then you grab another one to open the door to get out. So, and you use that on the doorknob because everyone's touched the doorknob.
Right.
You don't want to get COVID.
And nowadays, I mean, with the dangerous viruses out there, you don't
Well,
want to be touching
COVID is coming
anything.
back. COVID is
What?
coming back. There's an article in the news today that COVID is coming back and having a slight resurgence. So
What, they came up with a stronger version because every version that came out was always weaker, but the warnings and the threats were even, it's like, you need to get, okay, you're dead, but you still need to get vaccinated because you'll die again. This is the worst version ever. But it was like so much weaker than the initial one. They just kept getting like less and less dangerous, but then you still got the government going, you need to get vaccinated. You're going to die. You're going to die. Hey, we're going to die anyway.
Your best line was, you'll die again. I know you're already dead, but you'll die
That's
again.
right. It's like, yes, it was kind of like, just one of those things where, okay, not enough people got vaccinated. We're still sitting with this big supply. Oh my gosh, there's a new version. It's the chromium version. You need to get 18 vaccinations now, not just one. And you need to get them all at the same time.
So we got off the track here, but all I know is just the headline is that there's a slight resurgence and it started in California. And that's
of course, you know why? Election's coming. The election's coming. It's kind of like the redcoats are coming, but it's the election's coming. So of course, we're now going to come out with once again. Oh, look, COVID's back. No, quick, everybody lock yourself in your houses. And the only place that you can go shopping is Walmart because you can't get COVID at Walmart, but you can get it at your local store. What the hell? Walmart doesn't care about us.
Are you done yet?
Well, really? Do you want me to answer that question? No, because I could go on about this all day.
What do you do when people are jet skiing across your lawn?
Ooh, I string up a rope.
To knock them off the jet ski?
Yes.
That's
so
pretty
when they
good.
hit it,
Don't do a rope.
just face forward.
Don't do a rope. They'll be able to see that. Do fishing line.
No, that'll cut their legs right off at the ankles if they're going fast enough. I saw the movie
you'd
once.
be a fan of that.
No. It would depend on who it is. If it was somebody I didn't like, it was like, yeah, use the fishing line. Get the 1,000-pound test. Yeah, guess what? They're suddenly 6 inches shorter.
Ordinarily, you are a fan of population control. So
yes, definitely. But you see what? Just cutting somebody's legs off isn't going to kill them. Unless, of course, they bleed to death and the shark eats them in the meantime before the EMTs get there.
Well, you didn't even ask me how in the world do you jet ski across someone's lawn?
Okay, well, wait a minute. Here, rewind. Ken, how in the world do you jet ski across somebody's lawn?
A southeastern Wisconsin property owner is tired of watching airboats and jet skis travel across his land during the floods.
Kind of figured it was.
He filed a lawsuit seeking to limit the public's right to use flooded waters, lakes, and streams. When the river floods, airboat users take advantage because of the higher water levels, and they go anywhere they want. Across people's yards, they just go anywhere. And now this is tricky because he's suing, right?
Right. It's his property.
Right. And I can see why you'd be mad that someone, you got jet skiers going in your backyard.
Right. That would be like somebody taking their snowmobile through your yard just because it's snowing out there and you can't see the grass. You
Right.
know where people live.
Okay, so the Wisconsin Constitution guarantees public access to navigable waters, defined as any waterway which someone can float a canoe or other small watercraft. That's really broad. But it defies what he's suing about, because their Wisconsin Constitution says they can do it.
Well, this is where electric fences come in handy, Ken. Okay. You just don't go out in your yard. You let everybody else do it, because the minute, you know what happens when electricity is immersed in water.
Right, that's true. It's true. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're back on population control. Okay.
Well,
Good.
you know what?
You're back.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I don't want somebody going through my land either. And I get it, oh, look, it's flooded, but you still know that here's our house. And, you can figure, and we have, 6 lots here? So, yeah, it's like, if you're going to be on our land,
Well, yeah, and
guaranteed.
Tommy's got guns.
Yeah, a
So,
lot of them.
yeah.
He's got landmines in the yard. He's planting them now. So just in case, we're teaching the foxes where not to step, because we have foxes here. They're so cute.
You made it really attractive to visit your house when you were talking about what a mansion it is and how you have a 24 by 18-foot bedroom and a studio and a place for guns. And you just made it sound so attractive. But it's not so attractive to walk up to your house when there's landmines planted around.
That's why you stay in the driveway and the sidewalk.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's like, this is not a free roam area. I mean, geez, come on, man. Free range? Yeah, you know what? That's great for a farm, but not on our property.
What a free spirit you are.
I know. I'm all about giving back.
What's going on in Kansas?
All right, so I can't tell you what's going on in Kansas, but have you or do you plan on going to see the Barbie movie? I'm going to have to pass on this one myself.
Yeah, I see people posting about it. And people dress up as Barbie when they go to the Barbie movie.
Do you realize that it set a record for the most sales on a Monday movie theaters? Yeah, and not only Barbie 1, but there's already working on scripts for Barbie 2 and 3. But now scammers are taking advantage of this. What they're doing is they're emailing and calling and texting and saying, hey, look, we got your order, but there's a problem, so you got to call us, hoping that somebody's going to be stupid enough to go, oh, maybe I didn't. Did I order? Maybe I did. Okay, well, we need your information so that we can make sure that it gets to you. People believe everything. I got something from the UPS in my I think it's like my spam folders in my email, and it says, "Oh, you need to call us because we have packages." Dude, no. Seriously?
Yeah. I got that one too. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm still getting them from Africa, from that from King somebody or another who wants to give me cash.
I signed up for the Target Red Card a few months ago, like 6 months ago, and I got a spam email that said it was from Target.
Did you really?
Yeah, it said it was from Target, and we have a problem with your account. You need to call this number. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, what? And you look at the email address, and it doesn't end with Target.com.
No, and that's what it should.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, if you get something in your email and they want to sell you Barbie stuff, just delete it, because it could be one of those fake websites they set up just to steal your information. Do not ever, ever click on something that you did not solicit yourself.
I was looking at news stories, though, on Google News, and I saw these photos of people dressed as Barbie outside a movie theater going crazy. And there's another one, and there's another one. And, in Yahoo News, there's another picture of people dressed as Barbie. This is not the Rocky Horror Picture Show, people. You can't touch that.
I know. Rocky Horror basically they've set that. Yeah, nobody should ever mess with it again. But I mean, why do you want to dress up like Barbie? Unless you're RuPaul, because RuPaul basically is our Barbie. And RuPaul is really a guy. So just saying, did you see the pictures of the guy who had surgery so that he could look like Ken the doll? Which Ken actually has a real last name, by the way. He just doesn't have a wiener, but he has a last name.
What's his last name?
Hold on a second. I will tell you his last name. Let me find it. I did write it down.
There was a dude trying to be Ken from Barbie and Ken.
Oh, he's already got like all this plastic surgery and everything. It's freaking insane. Totally insane. Hold on a minute. I got to find it.
He's got to really slick down his hair with all kinds of glue, you know?
Yeah.
His hair's
hold
gotta
on
be
a second.
Perfect. So,
apparently it couldn't have been that important to me because I can't find it.
When we got split up.
Yeah.
By the way, by some radio station that managed to split us up, we had to go separate ways. One of the people I was considering being partners with is Barbara from California. And so the show would have been called Ken and Barbie. She was willing to change her name to Barbie. It would have been a radio show.
Okay, Ken's full name is Kenneth Sean Carson.
Where'd that come from? Why would
he was named after the son of Barbie creator Ruth Handler. So I don't know. Handler doesn't sound anything like Carson, but what do I know? More than people
Mattel
think.
Did that? Mattel put that out?
Yes. Yeah.
That Ken has a last name.
Yep.
That's just strange.
Barbie has a last name too. I think it's McGillicuddy.
I don't think so.
Well, if it worked for Lucy Ricardo, I figured, why wouldn't it work for Barbie? Look, she married Ricky Ricardo in, a famous lounge act. He was a lounge lizard guy, so why couldn't Barbie be Barbie McGillicuddy? I mean, do you think that would be a turnoff for any guy? Look at her. She's got no waist, huge boobs, and I don't know how she bounces on those feet. No clue.
Well, she is, a beautiful woman, but this whole Barbie craze.
She's not a woman. She's a doll.
Oh, right. Okay, she's a doll.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you're talking about RuPaul.
Do you want to root for a criminal?
Do I want to root for a criminal?
Yeah.
It depends on who the criminal is. If you say Jeff Bezos, I'm going to say no.
It's Bokeem Jones. He's a jailbird and he's brilliant. He's at Rikers Island. And he swiped an officer's uniform from the jailhouse gym and put it on. And he tried to escape, dressed as a guard.
Didn't work.
He was in for assault charges. He knocked on a locked door, and they opened the door because he's dressed as a
right.
As
he looks
guard.
Like a guard.
And that was the last door. And he was on his way out. And as he was walking, the other officers recognized him as an inmate. And he started and they told him to stop. And instead of taking a pose where I'm going to have a fist fight, he ran. And
I would have ran too.
Yeah. And he got pepper sprayed and tased. And he didn't make it out. So sorry.
See, this is where too bad it wasn't COVID, because he definitely would have made it. He would have kept his face covered. Nobody would have known who he was.
That's true. That's a really good
COVID
point.
needs to come back so that more criminals can attempt to escape.
That's just so simple, though. It's like, how did he have access to the gym, and why? Why was there a uniform hanging in the gym? Like, was the officer naked? Did he?
They have to have gyms, because how do you think they get so buff in jail?
Yeah, I guess that's
There's
true.
a gym. They got weights out the yang. I'm surprised they're not bashing each other's skulls in with those weights, but apparently there's an etiquette system in place.
Well, Bokeem, you almost made it. You almost made it.
Yeah.
Maybe next time.
Here's to you. We salute you, Bokeem.
And this is the Get a Kitty podcast. We root for criminals. That's what we do. This is what episode is this? 58? No, 59.
I don't know. It's the one where we rooted for Bokeem.
Thank you so much for putting up with our nonsense.
Bye. Didn't even say hand job.
Yeah. Stop it!
The Ken and Kitty podcast also streams on kenandkitty.com. kenandkitty.com.